What's it, Shouts?
It's the Post-Match Shouts podcast.
F***ing hellfire.
I'm Bert DB, this is Post-Match Shouts, and yesterday was Valentine's Day. Hope you all got exactly what you wanted, you dirty tickets. No love lost during the Merseyside Derby this week. Balls into the area weren't cleared, handbags were thrown, and the referee made the correct decision, for the sake of his own precious life presumably, to award Tarkovsky's last-minute Jags-like thunder bastard as a goal in the face of a clear foul 2 minutes after the whistle should have realistically been blown. And they say it's the Blues that are bitter. Coming up on the pod, how does City stop being shitty? Merseyside Derby extended match report, Big Shexy Vird's guide to smoochy smooch love time.
I used root poham. It's made from the tasty sweat glands of the great man himself. It's pure fire.
Simon Jordan's Love Business.
Garçon, the shabby taste of piss. I mean, what the fuck?
And Nev Carra's The OverShare.
I think I love you. Oh, wait, go on.
This is Post-Match Shouts, the podcast. I hope you're feeling romantic.
Love is a bit like a game of football. You have to use your skills, your intuitions, and ideally you have a fitting climax after 90 minutes plus extra time. Yes, I can go for 90 minutes, and know that. It's important to look the part. I look smart on the pitch, and I wear a roll neck off it to show my length of my neck. Get your mind at the gutter, man. I also find it's important to smell great to find a mate. I use this, root poham. It's made from the tasty sweat glands of the great man himself. It's pure fire. When it's time to get physical, I make the love like I defend. Keep your distance, vary your speed. And when it's time to stick your tackle in, go hard and leave the opposition not knowing what's hit them.
Big words, I'm uncomfortable. Like Nando's lemon and herb dressing, this content is too spicy. It's making my tummy stick want to spill over my waistband.
You know that guy. He's young. He doesn't understand the pleasures of stooping. Follow my lead and I guarantee you the chicks, they will come. Stay sexy, guys.
Schadenfreude is a German word, the definition of which is pleasure derived by someone from another person's misfortune. I tell you this because this is how I feel whenever I put Manchester City on the box this year. Here's 3 things I reckon the Sky Blues could do to make City play a little less shitty. Unleash the hounds. Remember Jack Grealish, the young one who used to bounce around effervescently like a human Barocca? Remember when he used to glide past players and drive into the box? Run games for an otherwise fairly average Villa? He still plays for City, but the gaffer there turned him into a pep bot whose main functions are keeping us shape and passing sideways. Take the shackles off your nugget, let this lad play with a bit of freedom and he can take control of proceedings, create chances and quite possibly even score a goal or 2. Rinse and repeat for Goku and Foden as well. We play with all the relaxed ease of a pair of handmaids. The structure and confines of Pep are looking distinctly old hat these days. It's time for City to get a little loose. Find a hero. They've looked lost this year without Rodri in the middle of the park because, aside from his balloon door winning talent, he's an absolute leader of men cut from similarly uncompromising cloth as previous City captains like Vinny Kompany, Dickie Dunn and Steve Lomas or someone like that. With Kyle Walker clearly rocking the boat and getting sent packing to Milan, he needs the likes of Scurry and ratbag Bernardo Silva, graffiti-laden school table lookalike and sub-goalie Edison, and Kevin De Bruyne, who's played this season like he's already on a beach in Dubai, without the fact of 5,000 slammed all over him, man, to step up and be counted. Accept the charges. The 115 FFP charges must be hanging around the Etihad like a bad fart on a stuck lift, and psychologically can't be helping anyone at City. Pep certainly looked more unhinged this season, and you could put that down to his roster's side of being serving up on the pitch, but he's the godhead of that club and he'll be feeling that FFP net, much like the straitjacket he quite probably sleeps in, drawing ever tighter. Accept the charges, get the ball rolling. They might get relegated, hardly arsed. The lost revenue wouldn't be an issue. They'd walk the champ even with all their best players on loan for the year, and they could bake in some 90s-style misery and adversity into the journey, galvanising their supporters for the inevitable state-sponsored Premier League comeback the season after. Or don't do any of those things, Manchester City, and see what happens. There's no free rides to the Champions League these days, after all.
I'm business magnate and thinking man soccer pundit Simon Jordan, and when I'm not on the radio spouting overcomplicated malapropisms, well, that's a little bit like cutting off your nose to spider face, really, isn't it? I'm romancing my better half good and proper. Garçon, the shabby taste of piss. I mean, what the fuck? I treat the game of love like a well-run business. Here's my 3 rules to a well-run romance. Number 1, spend, spend, spend. A woman is a bit like a disgruntled mid-table Premier League squad. Sometimes you begrudgingly have to spend a bit of dollar sprucing it up. I recently bought my better half a small yacht that turns into a convertible sports car. Make a move like that and you will get more than 3 points on a Saturday night. Know what I mean? Number 2, due diligence. Sometimes in business and in love, you can rush right in and get caught with your trousers down. I always conduct some good, hard due diligence when taking on business or a lover, involving forensic accounting, having a sneaky peek at the socials, and sometimes just looking through the windows or over the fence. Stuff like that. Don't get caught with your tackle out. Number 3, love deeply and intensely. When I took over Palace, she was never a mess, more my language. Penniless, a flaking facade, and plenty of previously crusty punters inside her meant I had to get in there and give her some deep loving from the bottom up. I turned her into an absolute beauty, and although it didn't work out, you can see my legacy in the club's current competitive nature. The chicks are no different. Love your lady Tenderlight and Bob's your auntie. You'll never have to work a day in your life. I've jumbled up my sayings again, haven't I? Fuck a duck.
Merseyside Derby, match report. We start on 11 minutes for Everton's first goal. Beto breaking the lines about as fast as you know on a motor scooter on a dual carriageway, going to buy scratchies and gin. The only thing slow was Canate, who struggled with Beto all night and who I have serious question marks over when it comes to dealing with big strong men. Oh, matron! The Reds didn't take long to respond, Mo receiving the ball on the right-hand side and teasing a cute left footer towards the head of midfield aerial Goliath, Alexis McAllister, who delicately flicked home. You really do have to question the length of Pickford's arms at times like this. We've seen a flaccid penalty appeal in the second half, Beto and Canate having a little touched both their hands, didn't they? Leg of VAR, no penalty. Liverpool took the lead through some great industry from substitute Curtis Jones, who, no Tuana slot, should always start Merseyside derbies. Jones's effort cannoned off Branthwaite, rebounded to Salah, who did the rest on a standing foot, as you'd expect, on the edge of the 6-yard box. 2-1, and as a Red, you could just taste that sweet, sweet derby victory. But it wasn't to be. Everton under Moyes are like the Goonies, they never say die, and after Pickford pulled off one for the cameras from a tame Salah Kayla, the side started to turn. And so, when Mikalenko hit a speculative up and under, time seemingly slowed at Goodison, and I knew the writing was on the wall. The ball bounced in our box, always a no-no. That lad whose name I can't say flicked on, Phil James Tarkowski, bit of PTSD hitting me there. It's a half-volley thunderclump past Alisson to split the spoils, and everyone went home happy. Oh no, they didn't. It fucking kicked off, didn't it? Takore strutted over to the away end and started giving out. Curtis Jones, clearly not a fan of that kind of thing, gently remonstrated with the Everton midfielder, and that was the start of this year's second Royal Rumble. Someone threw a plastic bottle into the melee. I hope that was worth the impending stadium ban. Jones was sent off to Corey too. Arne Slot also received a red card, and the whole thing ended with more bruises, bloodied noses and swollen faces than your traditional Scouse wedding. A fitting end to the final friendly derby at that rickety but admittedly classic old ground.
Before we talk about Wednesday's game, Jamie, I just want to say, with Valentine's Day spirit in the air, that I think I love you.
Oh, aye, go on.
Yeah, I think I'm in love with you, Cara. Truth be told, it's more of a chest feeling than a trouser feeling at this stage, but as we know, things can change in any given moment.
You're not wrong there, lad, but why let things change?
Why indeed? I think what it is about you is, I love Scousers, and what I've noticed when I come to the city is there's only about 11 different faces divvied out amongst you. Scouse face, me and our kid call it. And you, Cara, it's like you've got all 11 faces combined. It's quite intoxicating.
That's nice of you to say, Ga. And to be honest, I might just be in love with you, Sue. You know what I love about you?
What do you love about me?
I like it when you make that little noise you do. Yeah, that one. Do it again. Yeah, it's fucking nice, that. Make the noise, cat.
So anyway, back to Wednesday night's game.
That was a rather raucous Valentine's romp, weren't it? I'll be sore for the week after that. Catch us next time. If you feel so inclined, like, share, follow, and please sub the YouTube. It costs you nothing, but massively supports the platform. Toodles!